Andy, good to have you. Theodore Williams, so good to see you here. Pyrie Topo, good to have you with us as well. Glory. Paul Rayma, good to have you. Patricia Parents, good to see you. Ruth Pace. Merrick, good to have you here. Tanya on Passive. We have founders across the world joining us today. Tell us where you're joining us from. Roy McPhail, good to have you. Dr. Benny, good to see you. Mr. Naita, good to see you here. Everyone, let us know where you're coming from. And we're going to get this started in about 10 minutes, right? How's the weather over there, Dan?
I'm sorry, I was putting my. What'd you say?
You're in Colorado. How's the weather there?
It's about 30 degrees, but blue skies. We've gotten snow the last few days, and we need a lot more up in the mountains and the ski areas, but it's cold. Yeah. How about you? 75?
I haven't been outside. Well, actually, no, I dropped off my daughter at school, and it was in I think low 60 right now, but it's sunny and blue sky all the way. California is always beautiful weather, right? Which just gets really spoiled when there's a little wind or so out there, and yeah. But it's good. I love it here. How about you, Andy? How is the weather in UK right now?
It's a little bit warmer than Dan's, but we don't get snow right where we are. So we're about 40 degrees. You work in Fahrenheit, we work in Celsius. So it's around about 5 degrees Celsius. But no, I'm being on the south coast. The only time we get snow is if it comes up from the south. And that's very infrequently. So no, thankfully we don't get that sort of stuff. But it is cold. It's chilly in the morning, and the wind is biting at the moment. And working outside all day, I'm absolutely shattered.
That's scary. That's cold for me. I used to live in a dry weather for about 10 years in Arizona, dry, and it's beautiful. I love the West Coast here. I mean, never been to where Dan is. I've been to London once, or at the airport, but not really. Haven't been.
You're welcome.
I bet it was raining.
Julie.
Yeah, I bet it was raining when you got to London.
Yes. Thank you, Dan. I look forward to it. I heard it's beautiful.
Well, the summer and the fall in Colorado in the mountains are very pretty. Yes.
I so look forward to travel, and especially London, Andy, because I was at the airport for about 3 hours, and it's so pretty. Look forward to it. Anyway, hello, Marty. Thanks for being here with us. Everyone, thanks for joining us today. And I do know that we have friends Antonio from Portugal. Good to see you, and good to have you here as well. Juliana from the UK, so good to have you. Welcome all founders around the world. Cynthia Deering, good to have you here as well. It just popped up. Cynthia is from BC, Canada. Let's see if Mike, Mr. Redfern is here. Let me bring him on. All right, Saeed, good to have you here with us as well. Let's see, where is my name? Atu, good to have you with us as well. Joanne and Joseph, good to have both of you here from Belgium. Hello, Red, good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see, Cynthia Deering, good to have you from BC, Canada. Rose, thanks for joining us, Rose. Good to have you with us as well. I believe Rose is in South Africa. Abdai, Tyron, good to have you with us. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Today we are doing Let's Bless the Loved One. Welcome all our guests here today. Marty, are we doing live stream today? I think we are.
Yes, we are. We are.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, we're gonna start this right on time. So we do have 5 more minutes to get ready. Red or Mike is doing presentation today. So I know who's in.
Mike should be doing it. He should be here any minute.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, Marty. Let me see if he's in. Mike.
Otherwise, I better get me skates.
Mike Ellis is in. I just brought him on. All right, we're going to start our webinar in about 4 minutes. Welcome, Mike. Thank you for doing our presentation today. Good to see you. All right, Mrs. Ogunde, good to have you with us. Mrs. Redka, good to have you with us as well. Welcome all our friends around the world joining us today. Welcome all our guests today. We are going to do live stream today. So if you are subscribers to the YouTube channel, you should be able to see it popped up shortly. Otherwise, please subscribe to it and please continue to share that outside to everyone. A lot of the major channels that we have here has so many informations for you to listen, and very interesting information that is shared out there. So we encourage you to subscribe to our channels. There are 5 of them. Once we go live stream, I'll let you know. And if you haven't subscribed to it, we would love for you to do that as well. Temi, good to have you with us. Temi McNear. If you could, using the electronic hand raise, if you could raise your hands and let us know if you are a guest, just by indicating your hand raise. We'd love to see how many guests we have here today. Please use the electronic hand and raise your hand. Let us know how many of you are guests here today. Juha, good to have you. CB, good to have you here as well. Frank, welcome. Alfred, Faith, good to have you here as well. I just came back from a training, just helping people uploading YouTube videos. So I'm pretty dried up right now, but I'll do as much as I can. Hilgard, good to have you here. No guest today? No hand raised today, huh? There's no guest today, guys. We can literally shut this down. I'm kidding. Sanjay, good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We're gonna turn off the chat in 2 minutes. So last chance for you to say hello to everyone. Georgie de la Rosa, good to have you with us. Welcome, Charles of Song. Good to have you with us. So basically what I'm gonna do today, as the moderator of this webinar, I'm going to start the program, and then I'm going to introduce Marty. Once Marty is done, he is going to introduce Mike to do a presentation. And then Mike, when you finish, if you could send it back to me, and then I'll start introducing our speaker here today, right? So let's do it that way. And then we're not going to have Q&A at all. We're gonna put in the chat the email that our guests could send the request for a copy of this webinar, and then we'll go from there and we'll shut it down, whatever the time it takes, probably in less than an hour or so. All right, Marty, I am ready. I'm turning off the chat right now. I'm ready when you are, Marty.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Bless Our Loved One webinar. My name is Julie Nguyen. I am a proud founder of OnPassive, and I'm coming to you from Orange County, California. Welcome, everyone here today. Today, we have a webinar. We call it Let's Bless Our Loved One. You are invited here by someone because that individual really care for you and want you to have the opportunity, wants you to share the opportunity, the business of OnPassive. And today you are going to learn how you too can become a proud founder of OnPassive. We do not pester you. We do not pressure you. We're not going to try to convince you. Quite frankly, we don't need to do that anymore because we don't need founders anymore. But our CEO has allowed us to share the opportunity or to invite someone that we care to be in this opportunity with us as well, as we all founders understand that the opportunity is going to be closing very soon. So today we are here welcoming you here. So at this time, I would like, if you are a guest today and if you are new founders, it would be a good time for you to give yourself the next 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or 45 minutes. Take your notepad out, and if you want to write down some notes here, our presenter is going to share some information with you today. Just know that we're not going to pressure you as well. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker today. Then you are going to hear a presentation from our friend here, Mike Ellis. And afterward, what we are going to do is we're going to allow some of the speaker or the panelists here to share and add to more value to the presentation. Once we finish with that, we are going to give you an email for you to send a request for a copy of this webinar. We will not do a Q&A today at all. You could always go back to the person that shared this webinar with you and ask them for the registration link if you choose to be in OnPassive as well. So at this point, I would like to introduce my dear friend and our first speaker, Marty DeGamo. Marty comes to us from New Jersey in United States. I'd like to welcome Marty. Marty was in corporate world for over 17 years as a project manager, travel around the world, working for a large company. And then in the last 15 years plus, Marty has been involved in online marketing business. He has seen everything and experienced a lot. And that once he saw OnPassive, he knew this was the last business he would want to be involved in. I truly don't blame him. He has lots of wisdom and he got to share his story with you here today. So it is now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Marty DeGamo.
Thank you, Julie. Great job as always. Hello, everybody. Welcome everybody that came here today. I see we have 145 people. That's not bad. Middle of the day. Here it is, March 8th, 2022. Well, a little bit about myself. 62 years old. I'm having trouble saying that. 62 years old. I've been online since 2004. It's my 18th year. And I got online for the same reason as millions of other people. Some didn't, but most got on to see if they could find a way to build an income because myself, I grew a family a lot faster than I grew an income. So it got pretty rough for many years where you're figuring out what you can pay and what you can't pay and where you can go and you can't go. It was a nightmare. So I saw that the internet, to me, when I saw it, was what a great tool because it's 24/7. Somewhere around the world, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, as they say, right? So I thought, well, if I could get into a business where I could leverage my time, maybe, and what my goal was is to match my income and increase it if I could, because I didn't want to make a few dollars. I wanted to make enough to buy back time and have freedom, financial freedom. So I started, like I said, in 2004. I can't remember the first business, but I can't remember the 100th business, but the story's about the same. I got in, I was green. I didn't know what was going on. There's a lot of people there. There's a few people at the top, the gurus. You learn that real quick. They know everything, just follow them and you're going to be successful. So I did what I was told, no doubt. I I learned that if you want to know the best, learn from the best, follow, do what they tell you to do. I did that. And it didn't take long that I realized it wasn't quite as easy as that. I wish it would have been, but it wasn't. You know, they told me make a list. I did. Go to your friends and family. I did. Invite them in. I did. And then you get a few of your family that'll follow you because they trust you. And then the next month comes along and you got 3 or 4 people, so you're pretty happy. A lot of cases, your friends and family, they might get 1, 2, but not very many. And next month comes along, you got an auto ship. Wow. Okay. So in some of these auto ships are as much as $300-400 a month. Okay. I already got in, bought a package. That was 500. Now I'm going on 200 or 300 the next month. This is not making money. This is spending money. I was already good at that, right? I was excellent at spending money. So I thought, man, what the heck? So they said, well, you gotta think bigger. You gotta make a bigger list. And I went, okay. So you go out and you take names from people you went to school with, somebody, all the people you worked with, and all. So that went on, right? And you do what you're told, and you might make a little bigger list. But here's what happens: the people that you brought in the first couple of weeks, they're due for an auto ship too. And they're not quite as primed as you are about doing it. So when they got to pay another $300, now you're starting to see people drop off. So now you find yourself just fighting like heck to keep even, if you're lucky. And even, you're not making money. So I went, oh my God, what the heck? You know, and they'll tell you, well, you got to be motivated. Okay. So, you know, you go to seminars, these big, every 4 months, you have a big seminar, you go to it, you're all, yeah, I could do it. You're on your way home, you're attacking everybody that you meet, the guys pumping gas, you're telling them about the business. You go into a food store, you're telling them. Finally, I'm going, oh my God, this sucks. So that went on a long time. Then I thought, well, I got to find a way to go beyond the list I have, because that list is gone. So I gotta get new people. You know, how do you do it? And I ask them. I would flat right out ask if I could get to the gurus. Sometimes you can't. How do I get more people? And it's kind of vague. Well, just do what I'm doing. Well, what the frick are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. And they don't really want to tell you. You're just thinking they are telling you, you don't get it, but that's not the case. They're not telling you because they don't want to tell you. And they can't duplicate what they're doing. Now, it took me a while to figure that out. But I got into, well, go buy a solo ad. Okay, how do I do that? Go here. I go in, I pay $200 for X amount of people to visit my site. 500 people visit my site. 5 of them opt in. Nobody pays. Well, that's a start. Keep doing it. Wait a minute. So now I got my auto ship, $300 a month. I got to do solo ads every month. That's $200. I can't afford to have this business that's going to set me free, right? That's eventually what happens to all of us. I cannot afford to get this freedom. Okay. It's going backwards. So about 10 years ago now, which I can't believe, I ran into Mike and Dan here. I started to learn how to market and build a list of my own. And we all did. And we all had skills that the other person didn't have, which was fantastic. I couldn't write. If I wrote a follow-up email, I knew what I wanted to say, but if I wrote it, it looked like Barney Rubble did it. So Dan would do that. Mike did the videos. And together it turned out pretty well, very well. So now what do we have? We're building a list. New people are looking at our site. We're done. We're going to be set free, right? So you conquered it. You can build a list. So we're bringing in people, we're bringing them in, and you got 400 or 500. We've had teams of thousands. Guess what? I'm meeting now Marty, Mike, and Dan of 10 years ago. What do they know? Squat. They don't know anything. So I go, wow, I never thought of that. So we'll just do what we're doing. What are you doing? Then you realize you can't duplicate what you're doing. They don't have the time. They're working a job and a half, 60 hours a week. And I'm going, oh my God. So, well, we just got to shovel quicker. Let's bring in people quicker. So you bring them in quicker, faster than they quit. Why are they quitting? Same reason everybody quit 10 years ago. Here comes the auto ship. They can't afford it. They're not making any money. So I went, oh my God. So it's like digging a hole faster than the dirt falls back in. To me, that wasn't success. Plus, when you go to that person, that woman or that man and say, and I meant it, I thought I meant it, we're going to help you succeed. That's what I wanted. I wanted other people to go with us. The more that go with you, the better you're doing and the better for them. But I lied, not on purpose, but we lied to them. Yeah, you follow us, we do it, we're going to get you where we're going. And you couldn't duplicate what you were doing. They couldn't do it. They didn't have the skills or the time. I did it full time. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So about 3 years ago, to make a long story short, I ran into Red Redford, who's here, and Peter Rogers, and they were doing something new. And I was about to throw in the towel. I thought either myself, Mike, and Dan are going to have to create our own business, which was next. I don't know what else was next. That would have cost a fortune, but Dan had the money, so we figured we would do it. No, I'm just kidding. No, but we would have, if we would have had to build a small business, we were going to do that next. I thought that was the only thing left. Anyway, I ran into Peter and Red, who's here. They were in another business with us, another business that everybody got money sucked out of them. And I trusted them. That's a big deal online, by the way. That's about as rare as a unicorn. Okay. So I asked them, what are you doing? They said, well, we're in a company called Unpassive. Okay. I had, listen, at this point, the bar is very low. Very low. I'm not looking for a magic wand. I want everyone to make money, or at least the opportunity to make money. So I said, is there an auto ship? No. Are the products that they have in high demand? In other words, are people buying them now? I don't want something, you don't want to sell something that's brand new and you got to talk people into tell them they need it when in fact they don't. You know, that's too much work. So it goes, yeah, they're in high demand. In fact, billions of dollars a year. Okay. So now I'm thinking, well, if they're already in demand and they're already out being sold, what would differentiate between them and the one we're going to have? Brand new, built from the bottom up technology with artificial intelligence injected inside. So I went, whoa, like it so far. Now, what's the limit on the amount of income a person can make? Unlimited. Never heard of that. So I went, whoop, there's another plus. Can anyone do it? Anyone. And when I say anyone, if you're watching this, you can do it. That's what I meant by anyone. Not me, because I spent countless hours, and Mike and Dan, countless hours learning something that's a pain in the butt, really. And he said, yeah, anyone could do it. The company is designed from the beginning for the average person to succeed. Everyone is guaranteed to succeed. And I don't want to confuse that with guaranteed how much you're going to make, because that's not, you can't do that. No one should ever tell you that. But you will succeed. If you're in, you'll win, right? So I went, wow. Then I asked him what the price is. I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to afford it. Something like this is going to be outrageous. I'm not going to tell you, Mike will, but I went, oh, wow. As soon as he told me, I signed up. I didn't have to come back. I didn't have to look at it again. I was desperate at that point to find something that everyone can do. We knew we could market. We knew we could get people in, but I want everybody to succeed, and so did Mike and Dan. So I went back to Mike and Dan. I don't know what I said. I said enough that I was irritating, and they joined just because they didn't want to hear me say anymore, I guess. But anyway, we all looked into it. And from that day forth, we said, well, I want to find out who's running this thing, because he's got to be a crazy man. Who would take this on? Who would build a company for everyone he doesn't know, complete strangers? We met this gentleman, you'll hear about him too, and he is exactly what we thought he was. He was rare. and there aren't a lot like them. I know no one like them. And we've been in 3 years ago last week, I believe. Yeah, last week. And best decision I ever made. We built a large team, and everybody on our team is going to be successful. If you can say everything that I said, you don't need to watch this. But if you're out there and you're not succeeding daily and truly have the opportunity for a residual income, this is where you want to be. I'm going to introduce Mike Ellis. He'll explain it much better than I can, the details, and he can do it in about 23 minutes. No freaking way can I do that. So let me introduce Mike Ellis, and I'll be back at you later.
Yeah, no, thanks, Marty. And as usual, a great upfront presentation about OnPassive and where we're going. He's talked about some of the problems in OnPassive, and they're not in OnPassive, but in marketing online. And all of those problems are real. And what we're going to try and do today is really alleviate all of those problems so you can actually see a way forward to make money online. And as we all come in to look at whatever opportunity it is, that's the bottom line. How can I make money online? And as we get into OnPassive, you're gonna see some really dynamic things that have been done by the CEO of OnPassive, Ash Muffar. Ash Muffar is the visionary, he's the brain trust behind OnPassive. And the way he has structured OnPassive, it's not hard to understand for you and I, those individuals coming on and trying to make money online. He's kept it very, very simple for us. But the company overall, very, very complicated. OnPassive is an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology company. They sell digital products online. And as you look at OnPassive, as you look at the corporate side of OnPassive, and this is important, it's very, very complicated, very, very intricate. And what Ash has done is really ingenious. And as we look at OnPassive, as OnPassive goes into the global launch, which we're in the process of doing right now, OnPassive will launch as a unicorn company, in fact, a multiple unicorn company. And all that means is they will launch as a multi-billion-dollar company. Okay. So if you came into OnPassive and you thought you were going to be looking at a startup company, you're not. This is a behemoth. And as we go into the global launch, before we go into the global launch, all this is done. When we go into the global launch, we will have such power going in and marketing to the world. It's going to be extraordinary for everybody. Now, as we look at the products of OnPassive, and the reason I'm going over the corporate side of OnPassive a little bit, there's a lot to it, but I'll go over just a little bit. You have to understand the kind of longevity that we're looking at. And OnPassive, it's just not a couple of months or a couple of years, it is decades moving forward. And why that's important to us is because unless the company has great longevity, it's really, really hard to build an income, residual income, and wealth online. And that's what we all want to do. We want to get to that place where we don't worry about finances. And as we look at OnPassive and the products of OnPassive, they are wide ranging. OnPassive has over 50 products today, anywhere from automated marketing platform that has all the tools we use to market online, to an educational platform where teachers can come on, put their curriculum on there and teach online, to an HR platform where businesses can come in and manage their HR department, human resources department, to a traffic source, to a webinar, and on and on and on. The products are endless with OnPassive. And as we look at the products of OnPassive, why is it so unique? All the products of OnPassive, they're built from the ground up. Cutting edge technology, brand new technology. Really important to understand that. All of this technology is superior, and it's at a lower price point. It costs less than anything out there. So although the products of OnPassive, there are other companies out there that are servicing all of these niches with similar products. None of the products even come close to the products of OnPassive. Again, the products of OnPassive, superior, lower price point. And when you can do that, customers will come in. They're just like you and I. If they find something better that costs less, what are they going to do? They're going to come in and use it, especially if they're using an inferior product that is way too expensive. And on passive, it takes care of that problem for people. It takes care of that IT problem, informational technology, digital solutions online, whatever we're talking about. On passive, we'll have a better product at a lower price point. And because of that, people will flock into on passive. That's kind of an overview of on passive. And it's a very, very short overview. There's so much more involved with the corporate side of on passive. But I do want to share one thing with you that Ash Mufareh shared with us not many years ago, about 2 years ago. And as he was talking about the volume that's going to be coming into on passive, and it's going to be unprecedented, and the amount of wealth that's going to be generated with on passive because the products are so good, he told us flat out that his goal, one of his goals, was to make sure that the 97% of people that come online and fail for whatever reason, and there are many of them, Marty went over some of them, that 97% that fail, he wants to turn that number around and make sure that 97% of them succeed. And Ash has told us that when this wealth starts coming in, he doesn't want the majority of it. He's not an individual where the money is important. Yeah, he's going to do very, very well, but he wants to give the majority of the money coming into on passive back to those individuals that are participating with on passive. And it's not a little bit, it's over 50%. It's 52, 55, 60, 65%. He hasn't shared that with us yet, but it's a massive amount of income that's going to be brought back into on passive and shared with those individuals participating with on passive, you and I. That's how we move forward to develop an income, develop a residual income, and develop wealth. So what Ash and his team have done, and he has a team of technicians in Hyderabad that make all the products of on passive. That's Hyderabad, India, about 200 engineers there, and they've built all the products of on passive from the ground up. So what he's put together, it is truly dynamic. And what it's doing for those individuals that see the vision, come in and participate, it's really changing their lives because now they have a way forward to really take care of themselves, their family, and perhaps live that lifestyle they've only dreamt about up to today. So as we look at the corporate side, very complicated, but very dynamic, and it's here so that you and I can take advantage of everything on passive, okay? So what is on passive going to do for you? And that's why you're here. That's why you're here. All of us come here with the same mindset. What is on passive going to do for me? This is not complicated at all. Ash is the corporate side. Yes, it's very complicated, but Ash has made the side that we get to participate in. He's made it very, very simple for us, and I can explain it to you in about 2 minutes. And it really is that simple. And here it goes. As we look at on passive, we all come in. On passive will go to work for us. What are they going to do? They're going to reach into their IT products. They're going to pull out some of the products they have. They're going to build a marketing platform for us. Okay. So we have some place that people can come and look at the products of on passive. Then they're going to hook it up to AI, artificial intelligence. Again, that's another product of on passive. Once they do that, our business becomes 100% automated. That's so important because, as Marty talked about, we're finding people that don't have the experience we have. They're 10 or 15 years behind us, and it's really, really hard to get that experience. OnPassive takes care of that. They hook it up to AI, artificial intelligence, and it is 100% automated business. It doesn't stop there. They're going to reach back into their IT products, and they're going to pull out their traffic source, and then they're going to start driving traffic. What does that mean? All traffic is getting good qualified eyes in front of the products that you're offering them for them to look at them and become customers. That's all it is. Traffic are just people coming in and looking at what you have. Simple as that, whether it's a brick and mortar or whether it's online. And OnPassive is unprecedented at the amount of traffic that they can drive. And OnPassive will bring traffic in. And again, OnPassive is going to manage all of this. As the customers come in, they're going to manage them. As they look at the products, they're going to manage them. As they come in and buy the products, they're going to manage that. As they buy the products, they're going to manage the customer. So they're managing this whole process, i.e. 100% automated, which is absolutely terrific for me because I don't want to deal with customers. And as we look at OnPassive, as we go into the global launch, the primary people coming in will be customers. 98% of the people will be customers, even though we have the privilege of participating with OnPassive. And that's what OnPassive is going to do for each and every one of us. And as customers come in, a certain percentage of those will land in your organization and you will get paid. How do we get paid? We get paid a lot like a commission salesperson who works for a company, goes out, makes $100 sale, they get 10%, they'd make $10 on it. Okay, that's how we get paid. But the sheer volume that's going to be coming in is going to be unprecedented. And I'm going to go over that in just a little bit. But OnPassive is going to do this for every individual that comes in. They're actually going to go to work for us. They're going to do all of this stuff for us. They're going to manage everything. It becomes 100% automated. And all you have to do is come in and participate. And participation in OnPassive is very, very simple. Today, there is a position in OnPassive. So how do we participate? Today, there's a position in OnPassive. It is the founder position. It is a $97 position. You come in, you pay the $97, you become a founding member, and it locks you into the company, it locks you into the pay structure. Now, that $97 is another $5 fee attached to that from your credit card, so it's $102. That $102, it is a one-time payment. You will pay once, you will never have to go out of pocket again. OnPassive all of a sudden becomes a self-funding business. There are no auto ships. There are no monthly fees that you have to pay. It is 100% automated. That was so important to me because most of the people that come online, as Marty said, and try and build a future online, they just can't handle all the auto ship, all the costs that's involved, and eventually they just quit. That is OnPassive. As you come into OnPassive and people become a founding member, you will never leave. Because as you learn more about OnPassive, you're going to understand that bottom line is going to be taken care of. And after you get to that place, it doesn't stop and you start to build abundance. And I'll get into that in just a second. But the $97 fee, one-time payment, locks you into the company, locks you into the pay structure. And there are many benefits to becoming a founding member. I won't go over them today. But Ash Mufarek takes care of those individuals who have come in and become founding members of OnPassive. Okay. Now, as OnPassive goes into the global launch, what do we have to do to come in and participate with OnPassive? Again, very, very quickly. You come in, there will be a subscription fee. It's going to be between $200 and $300, somewhere in there. You come in, you pay that fee. OnPassive will go to work for you. You go in your back office, you click a button, you become independent resellers of the IT product. Why do you do that? Because you have to be an independent reseller of the IT product before OnPassive can pay you. Now, don't let that term scare you. Again, you don't have to sell, you don't have to recruit, you don't have to share. None of that you don't have to do any of that stuff. Let's back up to the subscription fee. That is a monthly fee. Okay. But again, I've told you, you pay these fees once, you'll never have to go out of pocket again. The monthly subscription fee, even though it is a monthly fee, will be the preceding months after that will be paid from the proceeds we make from OnPassive. So you'll pay it once, you'll never have to go out of pocket again. Again, I thought that was so refreshing to know. And this is something we know. It's not something we're guessing. You will never have to go out of pocket, but those two times for the $97 and the fee between $200 and $300. I always put it at $300. If it's less than that, I'll be happily surprised. But the total that you'll go out of pocket is about $400. And from there, because you've become an independent reseller of the IT product, OnPassive can pay you. That's how we'll all come into OnPassive. As we pay that subscription fee, not only is OnPassive going to go to work for us, but we get all the products of OnPassive. And OnPassive is going to take those IT products. That's what they're going to use to build the marketing platform, hook it up to AI, and then manage everything that's coming in to your organization. And that, again, is a unique thing. You'll never find that online, any other business. If you do, you can ask any of us to join your team and we will, but you won't find it. Marty and I, Dan, we've been doing this for over 15 years. Never seen it. I don't think we'll ever see it again in our lifetime. And maybe not for a millennial. And this is how special what Ash has put together, what he's done for us and how he's structured OnPassive. So that's how OnPassive is going to be working for all of us. It all has to do with a self-funding business. Ash is going to force us to be successful by making the sales for us. And then when you think about customer, product, and volume, everything fits together so well. You understand how Ash and his team is going to do this. Let's talk about let's talk about product, customer, and volume. And I'm not going to go over any specific product today, but I do want to talk about four products that Ash has come out with, the kind of volume that we're going to be doing, and why customers will come in and use all of these products. And once you get the customers coming in, the volume, it comes right after it. It really is a snowball effect. But if we look at 4 products of Unpassive, and remember, there are over 50 products of Unpassive today. And if we look at 4 of them, the first one being what we're looking at right now, webinar platform, and that's OConnect. Unpassive will have their own webinar platform that is superior in every way. What we're looking at today with this webinar, this is a Zoom webinar. The technology is so outdated. Unpassive had no problem coming in and just blowing them away as we go into the global launch. I believe they'll take over 10% of the market from Zoom and the other 25 webinar platforms that are out there. So OConnect is the first one. The next one is OStaff. That's their HR department, human resources department. The next one is OAcademy, which is their educational platform. Teachers can come in, put their curriculum on there, and then teach online. And then the last one is their traffic source. All of these products, they will be selling to individuals throughout the world. And when we look at these 4 products and the amount of revenue that they generate for other companies that are servicing these niches today, it's over $1 trillion. It's a massive amount of money. And when I start talking about these numbers, they're real, guys. This is actually what is out there today. Just with these 4 products, revenue over $1 trillion. And it's quite a bit more than $1 trillion. So I'm going to leave it right at $1 trillion. It makes the math a little easier. If Unpassive can come in with their products that, again, are superior to lower price point and take 10% of that market, what will they bring in a year? And that's in a year's time. What will they bring in a year? They'll bring in $100 billion 1 year, 4 products. There are over 50 products of Unpassive, all of them superior. And this gets to the sheer volume that's going to be coming into Unpassive. Ash Mufareh sharing 52, 55, 60% of that, and what's going to be coming to us. As we look at those 4 products, and let's say it's $100 billion, we do 10%. I think we're going to do more than that, but the first year, 10% just with those 4 products, $100 billion. Now we add the other products and the numbers start to get very, very big, but let's stay at 100 billion. If Ash is going to pay us 50%, that's $50 billion coming in to the founding members of Unpassive. Is that enough to put you in a position to start taking care of those financial needs? And I'll let you answer that question. My answer is, yeah, it is. It's more than enough. But that's just the start. Again, there are over 50 products in Unpassive. But if we just stay with these 4 products, over $1 trillion in revenue a year, Unpassive taking 10% of that market, $100 billion, and Ash paying us 50% of that, that's $50 billion. As you look at Unpassive and you explore Unpassive, and I do recommend you that you come in and continue to explore not only the corporate side, but what Ash Mufareh is doing for all of us. And as you come in, you're going to be privy to a lot of stuff that's proprietary in the back office, webinars with Ash, things that he shares with us that we can't share on open video, open webinar like this. You're going to find that it truly is extraordinary. And what Ash Mufareh has done has given us all a way forward. And as you get to know Ash, you're going to see that Ash is an individual with a really, really big heart. Is he going to do really, really well with Unpassive? Yeah, he's going to do really, really well. But he wanted us to do better than we've ever done before. He wanted us to get into that position where we didn't worry about finances. And if you think about these 5 concepts, the business, it is a self-funding business. Ash is going to force you to be successful. And then you look at the customer side, the product side, you put those 2 together, it's a perfect match. And then the sheer volume that Ash is going to be doing, you're going to understand that you're in a unique position to take advantage of a company as we go into the global launch that is just going to shake the world with what they do with their product side and what the founding members do. Let's talk about the launch a little bit. We are very, very close to the global launch of Unpassive. And the founding position, it is a position whose window is closing. We don't have that much more time for individuals to come in and become a founding member of OnPassive. As we go into the global launch, that position will be eliminated. There will never be another founder coming into OnPassive. What we have is what we'll have. So as you come in and you explore OnPassive, I know you're going to get excited about what's happening here, what Ash is doing, and how your life is going to change financially. It's just the way it works. And as you look at that, don't wait too long, because we're at that point where Ash could come in and really close the founding position at any time. And we don't know when that is, whether it's days or weeks, or maybe it's another month or so. I don't know. But Ash can close it at any time. So as you look at OnPassive, continue to explore it. I always recommend you come in, pay the $97, become a founding member, and then continue to learn as you do that. I can tell you flat out, Marty, most of the panelists here have been doing this for 2 or 3 years. And I can tell you flat out, we have not been disappointed. And none of us to date have made a dime with OnPassive. OnPassive has not paid any of us anything. We do this voluntarily because we want to help those individuals out there that perhaps you're struggling, perhaps you need a way forward. A lot of different reasons that OnPassive is good for people. But we do this just because we want to, and because we love people. We want them to come in and succeed. As you look at OnPassive, you are in a unique position to take advantage of everything OnPassive. Come on in, become a founding member, and then continue to explore OnPassive. And as you do that, I can tell you, you're going to be a happy camper. OnPassive was made for you and I. And Ash, every promise he's made, he's fulfilled and more. And that just continues every day, every week, and every month. Julie, I'm going to hand it back over to you, and you can toss it around. Hopefully that was enough for everybody to get a taste of OnPassive. And I know everybody else will put their say-so in, and you're going to see it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Julie, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mike. As always, you do share a very simple to understand message about OnPassive. Always appreciate you as well. Up next, I'd like to introduce Dan Street. Dan Street is coming to you from Colorado. He is now retired from the medical field, and I'd like to hear from Dan. Dan, if you would please share.
Well, thanks, Julie, and great job, Mike. You've laid it all out there and given everybody a good appreciation as to what OnPassive is all about and how exciting it is. I had as Julie was mentioning, I had a 30-year career selling medical devices to orthopedic surgeons and spending the majority of my life in an operating room. Okay, I was always looking for a way to gain time freedom and financial freedom and eliminate that stress and build wealth online. I mean, I spent 15 years and 10 of that with Marty and Mike here, just dabbling in it and trying to figure it out and hoping that the next shiny object would be the right one. But as Marty was mentioning, we failed in a lot of them. Now, if you'll look at the background of some of us here today, it's the ultimate ride of a lifetime. And I can honestly say that the last 3 years has been a ride of a lifetime, and we haven't even opened the doors yet. So we have been privileged to be part of this OnPassive company that Mike has explained so beautifully. And over the past few years, we've witnessed OnPassive soar way beyond anything we could have imagined. And we're very close to introducing this company to the world. And after years of failing in this industry, for the reasons Marty mentioned earlier, thank God we were introduced to OnPassive by Mr. Red Redfern here. And as Mike says, these products are proprietary, built from scratch, AI induced. And because these products are superior and at a price point better than any of our competitors, we know that we will disrupt many of the companies that you're familiar with out there. You can recognize as being very successful today. So we plan on disrupting a lot of those. And that's why we believe, and you'll hear us, a few of us say this quite a bit, that we believe that this is the last business you will ever need. So think about being part of a company that drives targeted traffic to your site to increase your customer base so you can earn commissions over and over again. And that means that the customers that come into your organization will never leave your organization. And the reason for that is simply because the value of this company is so amazing. So the AI-induced software follows up on your visitors, answers their questions, closes their sales, and does it all through this automated process that Mike was talking about. So whether you can choose to be active in this business, and that means there's a lot of marketers that like to use will use a lot of the products and be active and market and share with people, or you can choose to be passive. And that just means get engaged with the business, get engaged and do your due diligence with the business and learn, but you don't have to be an active marketer. You don't have to share it with anybody if you don't want to, and you will be successful. So whether you choose to be active or passive, it is the most affordable way to achieve generational wealth, and all through that automated process. So that's all I have, Julie. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dan. And on Passive, blessed to have you in our company as well. Appreciate your sharing today. So I'm going to call up next on Andy Burt in the order that you appear on screen. Andy, you are in financial sector and you're coming to us from the UK. Please share with us and add in what you need to. Thanks.
Hi, guys. Thank you, Julie. I'm not last. Dan was last week. I'm a numbers guy. I'm not technically minded. I don't really understand the products, but then I don't have to. And I love the simplicity of this business. As Dan said, it's so simple. They're going to register you a domain name, build you a website, drive specific targeted traffic to the website, close the sale, pay you for every customer that comes on board, and deal with all the customer support. Now, as Dan said, it's the last business you'll ever need. But what I like is the numbers. Now, Mike's mentioned them as well, but in our first year, we anticipate taking on over 100 million customers. Now, there's currently 1.2 million founders. So that means we're roughly in the top 1% of the company in the first year. I mean, imagine being in the top 1% of Microsoft or Amazon or Google in their first year. That would be an incredible situation to be in. But I'm going to give you an example, and this is purely an example. This is not what will happen or could happen. This is just an example and the power of numbers. So if you do absolutely nothing, we don't like using the word recruit, and quite frankly, I'm hopeless at it anyway, but I like to share this opportunity, and I like to try and encourage people to come along to these introduction webinars that we do. So I'm going to share it. But if I was on my own and I did absolutely nothing, and I'm going to suggest that the company will give us our 3 customers within a very short period of time, probably 2 or 3 days. And then from then on, it's actually going to take 3 months for them to give us another 3 customers, and those customers 3 customers, and so on. 3 months, 3 months. So it'll go you plus your 3 is 4, times 3 is 12, plus your 4, 16, 16 times 3, 48, plus your 16, 64, and 64 times 3, 192, plus your 64, 256 customers in your first year. Now that's going to provide an income, and I won't go into that now, but if you shared this opportunity with simply 9 other people that saw the vision like we all have here, and joined on Passive as a founder, and it did exactly the same thing, then you'd have 2,560 customers at the end of your first year. In other words, your income has increased tenfold in a matter of a year simply by sharing this with 9 others. Now, I love an analogy. As I said, I'm a figures guy. We help clients build pots of cash in order to pay for things like education fees funding or retirement planning. But let's take education fees as a good example. The average cost per annum for a student in the UK is around about 20 to 30,000 pounds. But let's work on 25,000. You've got 5 years. That's 100,000 that you're going to have to save. And most families can't afford to save that because their kids are at private school in the meantime, or their kids are at school, they've got to work, etc., pay for mortgages, buy a house, etc. So when it actually comes down to it, the son or daughter gets to university and starts their working career with a massive loan or debt that they've got to repay. And the thing is, that debt hangs over their head for years and years and years until they reach a certain level of income. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you were actually able to offer them a position within on passive as a founder, and you paid $102. That's the 97 plus the 5 to the credit card fee, and let's, for argument's sake, call it $300. So you paid $400 to create them an income that would put them through university and see them start in life with an opportunity to potentially purchase a property. How different could that be? I hope that helps. Julie, back to you.
Thank you so much, Andy. Absolutely. Truly, I do hope that it helped you, our viewer here as well. When you add numbers to what we share here, it speaks, right? Because numbers speak the reality of things, right? So thank you so much, Andy, for bringing that on as well. I like to shout out to all the viewers that currently watching us through our YouTube channels. If you're currently watching us right now, please click the subscribe button, because we do this every single week. And what we share here is something that you might want to look into further. So a lot of the channels that you are currently watching live right now, please click on the subscribe button. There are so many informations out there. You can watch it from Marty DeGamo, Red Redfern, Julian Milo, Bill Must, on passive, all of those channels. Make sure you do hit the subscribe button so that the next time we have video come out, you have a chance to add as well. Up next, I like to call on Charles Osong. Charles Osong is coming from the Maryland. He just completed a month travel around Cameroon to share on passive. He is a retired engineer, and I like to call on Charles. Charles, go right ahead, please.
Well, thank you, Julie, and thanks to all the previous speakers who have shared this opportunity so brilliantly. I'm just going to try to see if I can add value to some of those founders, or not, sorry, invitees who are like me, some many years back, listening to different opportunities, right? And then in your head, you're thinking, okay, I know they're trying to sell something. What is it? Well, I've heard this before, and sometimes it doesn't work. Well, here's the thing, guys. Most of us here, all of us here are very excited. Why? Because been there, done that, okay? And we know there's a difference between on-passive and any other business that you hear out there. And what is that difference? Traffic, AI-driven traffic. And when we say traffic, we're not talking about cars and motorbikes going all over the place. We're talking about eyeballs, customers to your business, thanks to AI, thanks to artificial intelligence. Now, the main reason, personally, I got interested in this business, 3 main reasons. And those 3 reasons came over a period of time, okay? But I'm gonna say this, for the first maybe 20 years of me being in business, I came up with 2 reasons, and I stopped doing MLM, multi-level marketing. You may have heard some of the panelists say, we can be active, we can be passive. Yes. You may have heard Andy Berg say, if you share this opportunity with 9 people, you're gonna make massive income. Yes, but guess what? You don't have to share it with any one person, and you're gonna make enough income to leave a legacy for your children, your children's children, and beyond. And why is that? 3 reasons here, my friends. Number 1, you do not have to recruit or sell to any one person to make that kind of money. That's huge. Number 2, like Maddie said earlier, auto ship sometimes can be $300-400. That's a lot. With on-passive, you do not have to come out of pocket every month. No, out of pocket once when we launch, game over. Money is a one-way street to your bank account. And number 3, again, Maddie touched on it, Mike Ellis touched on it, the products, viability. Are these products legitimate and viable? Now, when I say legitimate, I mean legal. When I say viable, necessary. Something that mankind needs, you and I, we need them every day. Okay, think about your cell phone. Think about internet access. Without these kind of products, life is miserable. And let me say something, because I know a lot of you have been into businesses where someday you try to log in and the site does not exist anymore. Guess why? The products were not viable, okay? No products. They're gonna come to you and tell you we're trading. Trading, that is gambling. Goes up and down. We are talking about products that people need every day. You don't have them, you are in trouble. OnPassive has all three of these things, my friends. No recurring to make money, no out-of-pocket expense every month, and yes, the most legitimate, viable digital products you can ever imagine. You're gonna find companies out there that have maybe one of these, maybe two, but not all three. And I can assure you, if you find a company that has all three of these, believe me, all of us here will be your first customer, okay? So rest assured, you are in good hands. Over back to you, Julie.
Thank you so much, Charles, for sharing those details. Important point. Up next, I'd like to bring on Red Redford. As you heard, Red has introduced OnPassive to Mike, Dan, and Marty. And Red and his wife are currently literally living a laptop style, right? Recently, they had traveled to Mexico and spent the whole month over there. He is also known in OnPassive as a king of Q&A. Any question you ask Red, he knows it all. So here, back to you, Red. Please go ahead and give us kind of wrap up everything and put a bow on top of it.
No worries. And as a chef, I'll put a little cherry as well, just to go on the top of it all as well. So I'd like to wrap it up and tell everyone about choices and decisions. At the end of the day, that's what life is all about. You make choices, you make decisions, and these have an impact on your life, whether it be immediately or down the road. So let me put this scenario to you guys who are listening to this for the first time. If somebody showed you Microsoft, knowing what you know now, would you join them as a founder? If somebody shows you Apple and you know what they are now, would you have joined as a founder? Or Facebook or Amazon or any of these major online giants now, what would you have done? Of course, you would have snapped their hands off because you know what you know now. I give this to you as well. How many of you have been given opportunities or shown opportunities that you have dismissed, and they have gone on to be massive companies, and you think, if only I had? What we do not want any of you guys here to do is to be in that position of, if only I had. We are talking about getting your foot in the door and securing your position as a founder for the sake of $97. It's a night out, two people, it's a good meal. I've lost more than $97 when I went out once. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be something that's going to change not only your life, your family's life, and your friends and family around. So do not let this one slip by. There is multiple ways that you can pay for your founder's position. You can use a Visa, MasterCard, so you're guaranteed by their paybacks anyway, even if you got nervous. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee anyway, so you're completely covered. But what we are trying to show you here is a legal, legitimate company that has viable products that people are going to use. We are a customer-based business. This part, what we are showing you now, is that early bird to get in before we go public. We will be selling products and services to the marketplace, and that is how we generate our income. It's not rocket science. It is a proper business. We are not promising the earth, but what we are promising you is the ability to make an online, legal, legitimate residual income. The rest is up to you. So do not let this one pass you by. Get back in contact with the person who has invited you to this webinar today. Get the details, guys. There is no hidden agendas. There is no questions that cannot be answered. They can answer it all, and if they don't, they can come to the likes of us and we will answer it for them. Back over to you, Julie.
Thank you so much, Red. That is a really nice wrap up. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. As Red and everyone here is saying, we hope that we prepare you to make a $97 decision. Right now, the decision is on your lap right now. All you got to do is make that decision for your life. $97 can literally change your life. All you got to do is take the action. Get back with the person who shared this webinar with you, who share on Passive with you. And if you like to listen to this over again, please send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. I put in the chat for you. Get back with the person who shared this with you and make the decision for your life. Trust me, once you make that decision to be in on Passive, it's going to change your life forever. It has changed my life and all the gentlemen here and over 1 million people here in the world. Thank you so much for being part of On Passive, all the founders who are watching. For the guests, please get back with the person who shared this with you. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming on. Have a great day. Good night from Orange County, California. Take care.